With the prices in race 3 in Sydney. Captain Court, the Kiwi, is at 14 to 1. Idea is a scratching. Potential Star at 9 to 2. London Bridge at 20 to 1. Tusk Hunter at 40 to 1. Yusult well in commission on the tote at 7 to 2. 10 to 1 Grand Connection. Nasabidi, I think he's a very promising star. I've put my cash on him. TAB number 8, he's showing at 2 to 1. Greg Hall, the Derby winning, Golden Slipper winning jockey, is aboard Nasabidi today with Jim Cassidy out of action with a bad shoulder. Wally's Choice at 8 to 1, Garter King 60, Enjoy Dancing 20, Go Steve 33, The Driller 66, Divine Prospector 100 to 1. My cash is on Nasabidi. Let's hear what Fatty and Simon are going to do.
We are not worthy, Ken. You're a legend. We all know that. That's why Channel 9 pay you $1 million a year to be their tipster. You're a pro, no doubt about that. I'm with you again, Kenny. Are you listening to my tips? You're copying my tips, aren't you? I'm on Nasabidi. I tipped it first. And Simon, what about you?
I've gone the number 6. Johnny Hawk's trained. Still Divine Intervention will do me. Mick Dittman's on board it. Yusult will win.
Yusult, where's Pepper going to run? Back to you, Max.
Good on you, boys. A lot of science involved in your selections today. OK, today on Wide World of Sports, in conjunction with the New South Wales TAB, we're offering 3 prizes of phone.
Still favourite, showing $2.90 now for $1 investment, not quite 2 to 1. Hoping it does, certainly does look well. Captain Cook is at 12 to 1. Number 2 Idea is a scratching. Potential Star, incidentally, a stablemate of Nasabidi, both with Max Lees, a very good trainer. It's at 9 to 2. London Bridge at 20. Tusk Hunter at 40. Yusult, Mick Dittman's mount, well in commission. 1 alley, get a very, very good run. $4.60, 7 to 2. Grand Connection at 10 to 1. Nasabidi 15 to 8. I've put him up. $2.90 for $1 invested. Wally's Choice at 8 to 1. Garter King 66. Enjoy Dancing at 20. Number 12 Go Steve almost out to 40 to 1 now. The Driller is at 66 to 1 and Diamond Prospector at 100 to 1. As I look at the horses walking around the enclosure here, Ronnie Duffy again from Racing Radio 2KY joins me. Which one's grabbed your eye, Ron?
Well, the 2 stablemates look outstanding as usual. The Max Lees horses, Potential Star and Nasabidi. Nasabidi, I just got a little query on him. He hasn't had a run for nearly 3 weeks now. He was a scratching a couple of weeks ago at Rose Hill. So that's that query I have with him. You need a hard fit horse here today. So I lean a little bit to Potential Star. I think there's a good roughie here again. Number 5, Tusk Hunter. I think
that's him going up the gate.
Yeah,
listing.
And he's certainly at the big odds. He's 40 or 50 to 1, and I just think he's suited by the extra distance today, and I think he's come up all right. So I thought he looked okay for a long shot, and just, I can't fault her also. But pretty tough race where all the favourites look extremely well. Look at Nasabidi there. He's just glowing. He looks a picture. He's a horse of the future, Nasabidi.
He sure is, Ron. He's a horse capable of running in this year's Melbourne Cup. That's a long way forward. Coming up here is race 3 at Randwick in about 8 minutes. We'll take a break while we've got a chance and then come back and have a look at the Tooheys Draft Welter Handicap of 2,000 metres.
Welter at Randwick, 2,000 metres on the second day of the carnival. Interesting runner, Nasabidi, trained by Max Lees, ridden by Greg Hall, replacing the injured Jim Cassidy. Ken, there are chestnuts and there are chestnuts. This horse has got a beautiful coppery glint to his chestnut coat. Tell you who he reminds me of. Cast your mind back in colour. Tobin Bronze.
Long while ago, John, I still remember him grabbing Cabochon in that Epsom or Doncaster, wasn't it? And the Cabochon looked home and Tobin Bronze flashed down the outside and grabbed him. What a horse he was. OK, they're behind the barrier. I better go through these prices. Captain Court at 11 to 1. Idea is a scratching. Potential Star 9 to 2. Was getting out. I was ready to go to 5 to 1, but back into $5.60. 25 London Bridge. 40 Tusk Hunter. Number 6 Yusult almost out to 4 to 1. $4.80 on the tote. Grand Connection is out from 10s to 12s. Nasabidi 7 to 4 as I speak, into 13 to 8, about $2.60 for $1 investment. Wally's Choice is a 9 to 1 chance. Garter King at 66 out to 80s. Enjoy Dancing, TAB number 11 is now out to 30 to 1. Go Steve is out to still at 40 to 1. The Driller at 66 to 1, and Divine Prospector at 100 to 1. A clear-cut favourite, Nasabidi at 13 to 8. John, he will be hard to beat. I just hope he doesn't blot his copybook.
OK, Ken. Yes, Nasabidi. He's the kind of horse that Shane Dye would love to ride, I'd imagine. Nasabidi, because the horse loves to drop right out of his races, much like Telesto. And he did that in winning a midweek race at Canterbury recently. Did you ride in that race, Shane? Gee,
Yeah,
it was impressive, wasn't he?
He was very impressive. There hasn't been a horse more impressive than him in a long time at a midweek meeting in Canterbury. He's the most relaxed horse around here, John. He looks beautiful. He's going to get a long way back, and as we saw in the first 2 races, the 2 horses that won the race come from a long way back. A horse that everyone's forgot about, Grand Connection. He's well in at the weights today, and he should probably race midfield, and his run the other day wasn't too bad. It's very difficult, these races, John. I think these are the hardest races to ride in the 2,000 metres here, because you only got 100 metres to the first turn, and you don't want to be caught wide. And if you're drawn very, very wide here, it's hard to get across, John.
Righto, Shane. Yes, it is a pretty short dash to that first corner, and they can, if they're 3 and 4 deep into that first bend, they can do a heck of a lot of work. Now, there's Divine Prospector going up into line. Wally's Choice has moved in with Nasser Biddy. Go Steve about to line up on the outside of the field, and we wait for Garter King and Captain Court. London Bridge is an interesting runner. He actually started in a Melbourne Cup, I think, the 1992 Melbourne Cup. He was amongst the unplaced brigade in that. Now, Captain Court about to go up on the outside of the field. Billy Sorensen riding Garter King. We don't see too much of Bill in the city. He rides at many and varied country meetings. He doesn't care how far he has to travel. Have Saddle will travel, Billy Sorensen, and he rides plenty of winners on the out-of-town tracks. In fact, he had a field day not too long ago at a Port Macquarie meeting. I think he rode 5 winners on the day. Now, they're just about set. Last couple move up, and the starter, Bill Cooper, onto his stand. And unless my eyes are deceiving me, Billy's sporting a new bag of fruit and a new tit for tat. Off and running. Good starts, and one of the first out towards the inside is Enjoy Dancing. Potential Star jumps smartly with Garter King, and storming over from the outside now Captain Court. He's going to lead. The New Zealander Captain Court strides to the front at the end of 200 metres over Go Steve and Garter King. Enjoy Dancing is now easing back 4th on the inside of Potential Star, followed by Tusk Hunter. London Bridge a bit deep going to the first bend, and then Ice Salt. Further back Divine Prospector, Grand Connection, followed by the Driller with Wally's Choice about 4 deep, and Nasser Biddy is back at the tail. To the back now, and Brian York put on the brakes on Captain Court, slows them up, led by a length to Go Steve. A half length away, Garter King pulling a bit, followed by Potential Star, who relaxes nicely, and then Enjoy Dancing and Ice Salt between horses. Tusk Hunter is 3 deep, even wider Wally's Choice, followed by Divine Prospector, then Grand Connection and London Bridge. Nasser Biddy second last, and dropping out last the Driller. 1100 out as they go down the back, and Captain Court increasing the tempo a little, led by a bit more than a length to Go Steve, and a half away, tucked in on the fence as Garter King. 1.5 Potential Star getting a beautiful run. Then Enjoy Dancing on the inside of Tusk Hunter. From Ice Salt, Divine Prospector, Wally's Choice. Then Grand Connection. Nasser Biddy is strung up near the fence as they come over the crossing, and they're packing up a bit, followed by London Bridge and the Driller. Past the 800, Captain Court the leader over Go Steve, with Garter King third. Potential Star fourth, only 3 lengths off the lead. 2 to Tusk Hunter, followed by Enjoy Dancing. Ice Salt is now under pressure, followed by Grand Connection, Wally's Choice. Then Divine Prospector, Nasser Biddy well back and under heavy pressure coming to the corner, followed by London Bridge as they turn for home. Captain Court the leader. Garter King is getting off the fence to be second now, followed by Tusk Hunter, Potential Star, followed by Enjoy Dancing, and then Ice Salt. Nasser Biddy pulled out to the middle of the track, is still 7 lengths off the lead. He's not doing enough at the moment. Captain Court being tackled by Potential Star. Further out, Tusk Hunter, who wants to veer off the track under pressure. Captain Court, Potential Star, and Tusk Hunter on the outside. Potential Star and Tusk Hunter are coming away. They're going to fight it out. Potential Star, Tusk Hunter, it's a head bobber as they hit the line. Potential Star wins it by a half head to Tusk Hunter, with Captain Court in 3rd place, followed by Ice Salt. Further back, Enjoy Dancing, Grand Connection, and then London Bridge, Garter King. Well back came Nasser Biddy, and then Go Steve, Wally's Choice, the Driller, and Divine Prospector is last of all. Tusk Hunter wanted to keep getting off the track, and it probably cost him the race. Potential Star looks to have out-bobbed the other one, $5.10 and $1.70. Tusk Hunter is showing $5.20, and Captain Court is showing $2.90. Another head bobber, Ken.
Yes, John, I think there's no doubt, though, the Potential Star's won, as you called it, and there's a photo been called for officially, but he's a stablemate to Nasser Biddy, and Nasser Biddy, by golly, that's the worst performance he's put in for some time. Tusk Hunter is wide out, but it's probably a little bit closer than we think there. We better reserve judgment on that photo. But as they come around the turn here, now that's Tusk Hunter out in the yellow cap, the widest of all. Inside him in the red cap, second from the outside, is the other one, Potential Star. So they were together all the way down the straight, but as John Tapp called it, they both hung out. There they go, that's your Salt in the black and white going out after them, and the horse up front with the pink cap is Captain Court. Very interesting, this photo. I thought John had, as John called it, he'd won for sure, but let's try and pick it up again. That's Potential Star in the middle, Captain Court on the rails. Well, he certainly hasn't won. Potential Star in the middle, and then wide out is Tusk Hunter. Young Corey Brown hitting Tusk Hunter with the whip, and Larry Cassidy keeping Potential Star's mind on the job. Let's try and line these up as they wind right to the line. They now hit it. Well, it looks like the one in the middle has got his head down in time, but we made that blue with Telesto on Saturday. It does certainly favour the outside horse in these photo finishes. That's calling them again, Captain Court on the rails, in the red cap Potential Star, and in the yellow cap Tusk Hunter. Now, he's got his head down right now. Now, that's just a friction past the line where it looks like Potential Star's in front. I think he's won, but it could be slightly misleading. Remember at Randwick here, the horse, now there they are right together, but number 3's got it. He's got it officially. You'll find the margins and knows that Potential Star has won. From the horse, Ron Duffus, he said, if you want to back a roughie, that might be it, Tusk Hunter. There's Tusk Hunter's trainer in centre screen, Brian Smith. He's not too happy, but he's a good sport. And coming back to scale is Larry Cassidy with the clerk of the course on the winner, Potential Star, as I said, like the favourite Nasabiti, trained at Newcastle by Maxie Lees. Okay, that was the story of race 3. More racing coming up on this turf day on the wide world of sports.
Let's have a look at the dividends. Race 3 at Randwick, the Tui's Draft Welter Handicap. Number 3, Potential Star, paid $5.10 and $1.70. And number 5, Tusk Hunter, $5.20. And Captain Court. Well, okay, let's now have a look at our potential. Not very good. Down the gurgler, Batty down the gurgler, Simon down the gurgler. But let me tell you, the bloke sitting next to me, how much do you win, Kenny?
Well, it's all coming back in a truckload right now, but thank you, Ron Duffus. Nice each way bet.
Yes, a very happy man next to me, Kenny. Okay, well, a fortnight ago, the running of the Golden Slipper at Rose Hill resembled a demolition derby more than a thoroughbred race. And Kenny Calendar, have the punters been able to draw any firm opinions about the 2-year-old for today's AJC size produce?
Well, it's a little bit of an anomaly, Max, because I think everyone thinks Dan Zero is the best horse, but he's drawn deep, and the way this race is going to be run, I'm going to put my cash on the horse that he beat in the Slipper, St Covert. And David Hayes, who we had on earlier, sounded pretty confident to me, and I too thought that St Covert fought on particularly well in the Slipper. Probably lead today. I'll be right on the lead. I'm going to back him. Here are the early tote prices. Dan Zero, as expected, is favourite on the tote, $2.80 or odds of 7 to 4. St Covert is at 9 to 2, 4.5 to 1. Races Edge at 10 to 1. Blevick, Mick Dittman's mount, another David Hayes runner, is at 7 to 2. Actually, the 3 of those top 4, St Covert, Races Edge and Blevick, are all David Hayes. Dapper Magic at 33 to 1, he'll be near the lead. Jack Saw Better from Perth at 33 to 1. Dr. Zachary, gee, that seems big odds. I don't think he'll be 30 to 1 for the... No, I've got a mistake there, I thought so. Dr. Zachary is an 11 to 2 chance. That seemed too good to be true. Payak is a scratching, Code at 16 to 1, Bogey Drive at 66 to 1, Restiff at 30 to 1, and Last Spy is the roughie of the field at 100 to 1. Paul, I won't be too hard on you on that last race. It was a very tough race.
Things aren't good, Ken. Interesting, you know, the stablemate of the one that we tipped got up, so we know nothing, obviously. Very hard race this, a lot of horses backing up from the Slipper. I've always said that I didn't think that Slipper horses backed up too well in the size, so I'm going to stick with a fresh horse to me, Blevick, to be ridden by the one and only Mick Dittman. I think if it's going to get home, he'll get it home. What do you think, Scoop?
I'm prepared to give Mick another chance, Paul, to be honest, and I'll stick with Blevick. A great win in the VRC size produce, and I think it can do it again today.
See much talent out here so far, Scoop?
I'm not moving from this tree, big fella. This is fun.
Right, back to you.
Good on you, Barry. A couple of desperates there. Much in the same way his biblical namesake parted the Red Sea, so has Kevin Moses found a way through the field to reach racing's equivalent of the Promised Land. Two jockeys premiership in as many years suggests the likeable Hoop is at the peak of his powers. But if there is a long-range threat to Kevin's authority, it might just come from within his own stable. We take a look at one of the stars of this Easter Carnival.
Ready now. Set to go. Line looks near perfect and they're off in the slipper. Rosa's Path on the outside is one of the first out.
Even Sydney's leading jockey needs every ounce of luck in the Helter-Skelter Golden Slipper Stakes. And not much more than 300 metres from the start last week, Kevin Moses was right out of it on Poryak.
The others, Mo, Stonebrook Meadow got barrelled. He was Polak, Stonebrook Meadow, and he fell straight back through the field.
I was very, very confident in the Golden Slipper, and he got absolutely wiped out early, so let's just hope that he hasn't been hurt.
The Mercurial Moses will be hoping to finish a lot closer in today's Sires Produce Stakes. Big-time jockeys crave a win in the major races, even if they're on top for the rest of the year. With 79 wins, Moses is on the way to another jockey's premiership. He's third in a row. At 41, he's a jockey who's reinvented his talents after stints in Hong Kong and Ireland.
I come back from overseas and I've just felt like I was getting back too far on the horse, and I've looked at a lot of jockeys overseas and they all ride on their toes, and when you're on your toes you lean forward a bit, so I tried that for the last couple of years and it's been working all right for me.
But while Kevin is now sitting pretty, he does have a niggling problem of late. When he looks over his shoulder in the saddling paddock these days, he occasionally sees his 19-year-old son Shane, who's becoming a bit of an embarrassment.
There's nothing he beats me in. I beat him in snooker, I beat him in running, everything I beat him at now. So I think age is catching up to me. The youth's coming out and the age is catching up to me. Soon he'll be beating me in everything.
Last month, when father and son met for the first time in a race in the city, Shane finished on top.
Trying hard, making up a little bit of ground near the post, but Noble Top holds him safely and wins it well over Sovereign Kite.
Well, he's not going to like this very much.
No, he won't. Like, I think he'll start getting a bit cranky, sir. He might cut me allowance out.
Maybe you've taught him too much.
That's the thing, I don't teach him much at all, because all of a sudden they come and take all your rides. Teach them nothing, let them learn their own way.
While Kevin's style has been internationally finessed, Shane hasn't ridden much beyond the provincials. He's halfway through a 4-year apprenticeship, has 26 wins, and he's working on the 27th. So how do you ride?
Just my own style, I think, just my own style, yeah.
But what's that?
I don't know yet.
Well, you're still finding out, eh?
Still finding out, yeah, still finding out. I don't think I'll ever find out. But I just ride my own style, how I feel comfortable, and it's, sometimes I get a bit tight in the legs because I'm like only young and that, and I just get up a bit high in the saddle, but I just try to correct that.
But he's still good enough to beat his dad. A fortnight ago, Shane did it again.
Top is holding hoof and boof at bay, and history repeats itself as young Shane Moses again knocks his dad out. And
despite the intimidation from behind.
He was coming up behind me and he started, I'm coming after you, I'm coming after you, he was yelling out. So
did you hear him, did you?
Yeah, he was yelling out at me. He said, I'm coming, I'm catching you. I was saying it.
So what did you say?
I said, here I come, here I come.
With England's Lester Piggott still in the saddle in his late 50s, Kevin Moses has a while as a rider yet. But when he does retire, there's a good possibility he could end up working for his son.
Definitely won't be a horse trainer. I think it's the hardest job ever. I'm not smart enough to be a broadcaster, and tipping I'd go broke. So I've just got to ride for as long as possible. I might be his manager when I retire.
Yes, nice bond there between father and son. Shortly we'll take a look at a day in the life of our race stewards and, of course, a preview of the 1994 stall gift. More in a moment.
On Berg's Backyard.
Let's go straight down to Kenny Callender right now to catch a tote update on the AJC Sires Produce. Ken.
Yeah, thanks very much, Ken. Still favoured is Dan Zero, and I just went and had a sneak look at the bookies. I was going to make him 15 to 8. I'll leave him at 7 to 4. That's round about the price he is with bookies. I can't tell you bookies' prices, but I reckon if you're trying to get 2 to 1 Dan Zero, that's about the best you'd get. St Covert is 4 to 1 on the tote. Number 3 Races Edge at 10 to 1. Blevik, as I said, Mick Dittman's mount at 7 to 2. The 3 of them, they're all stable mates. Dapper's Magic is a 33 to 1 chance. Number 6 Jack's All Better from Perth, the same price. Dr. Zachary, well in commission, round about 11 to 2, out now to 6 to 1. Payak, well, he's gone for a spell after getting knocked about in the Golden Slipper. Code might be one of the roughies with a hope, is at 16 to 1. Bogey Drive at 66 to 1. Restiff is at 33 to 1 now. And the bottom one, Last Buy, at 100 to 1. Now, after his performance in the last race, I got to pull in Ronnie Dufficy. You're on fire, Duff.
At the moment, a long way to go yet, mate.
Yeah, that's right. How are those pockets feeling?
No,
Bit of cash there?
There's something there, yeah.
OK, now, I know they haven't come in the enclosure yet, but what's your first feeling on the size produce?
Well, I do feel it has been known to be an upset race after the slipper, but I don't think it's going to happen this year. I think the 2 slipper Quinella horses, St Covert and Dan Zero, will fight it out again. All depends on the pace of the race. I can see Dapper Magic leading and St Covert just propping up outside him. And if they do, they're going to be hard to run down. It could be a sprint home. But if they put a genuine pace on, Dan Zero is going to be hard to beat.
David Hayes told us earlier that he'll lead unless something wants to lead, and then he'll tell him just to sit on him. A good choice of jockey on a speed horse, Wayne Harris, don't you think?
Oh, my word. Beautiful balance, beautiful hands, a perfect choice.
OK, Duff. Now we spoke to a good tipster here, Ronnie Dufficy. Let's go and have a look at the other end of the pile. A bloke who hasn't got a lot of idea. Are you there, Paul?
Couple of Dudleys here, you're not wrong. The atmosphere here today, Simon, not as crowded as Saturday, but still a good crowd.
Yeah, sensational. Even around where the horses are being saddled up, especially the David Hayes horses, there's 3 of them there, and people everywhere just getting a last glimpse at the champions before they go out.
Well, it's quite interesting to watch actually the horseshoes go on the horses, all that sort of business, eh?
No, I haven't seen any horseshoes going on anyone today, mate, but we're lucky. We've got a bit of a guest here this afternoon. We've got Fatty's brother, Neville, with us.
We're getting a guest tipster, Nev, the red hair. What are you tipping?
Dr. Zachary, mate.
Dr. Zachary. You're kidding.
Yeah,
what are you, Scoob?
Than we are.
No.
I haven't changed my mind, but I've got a trifecta there that I reckon's a bit of a chance for a bit of value for money. 1, 2, 4 and 7, a trifecta you might like to have a go at, but haven't changed off Blevik. It'll do me.
Tipping trifectas now?
Oh, mate, I may as well. I've got no hope otherwise.
What, are you cracking jokes or what?
I'm trying to. I'm not being very funny. I'm a bit
I'll
down
stick.
the mouth.
No, that's enough. I'll stick with Blevik. It looks good in the just over here.
The bird cage, they call it.
I think it'll win. Back to you, Max.
The bird cage is about where they ought to be too. Time to make a special tour now with Shane Dye of the inner sanctum of the Jockeys Room here at Royal Randwick.
Well, here we are in the Jockeys Room today, and we'll just go for a bit of a walk and talk to a couple of the jocks and see how nervous they are before the big races, or if not. Now, Greggy Hall, who caused a little bit of ference in the Derby on Saturday. Greggy,
oh, sorry,
are
mate.
you nervous for the sires riding Dan Zero?
No, definitely not. Should I be?
Well, you know, you do win all the big races. You don't get nervous at all?
No, mate, not anymore. I'm too old for that now.
Now, you're going to look after your riders today?
Of course, I always do that. You know that. That's
How was he the other day? How was he the other day, Mick?
Look,
well, he's competitive.
I can even give him
we
a
put
kiss.
it,
See?
very competitive nature about him.
Now, do you give yourself a chance in the sires?
Well, his form, if you take a line on Racer's Edge form, it makes him look like he's got a hope. Yeah, he's proven over the distance, and of course most of these 2-year-olds aren't.
The horse to beat?
Oh, no doubt, Dan Zero.
The horse to beat, Greg?
No doubt, mixed mount.
That's it from the jockeys. Now, normally you catch them sleeping up here on the bunks, but they're about to go out and ride. So if we come down here, here's Brian York on Telesto. Can Telesto win today?
Yeah, mate, we'll turn the tables on the rest of them.
You going to ride him back like last start?
Yeah, he'll be last.
OK, well, that's Brian Telesto. Now, if we walk down here, hello, here's Gav Eads. Can you do a dance like the other day, mate?
No dancing, no dancing. Only after I win.
If you win a Group 1 race, will there be another dance today?
Oh, I don't know. At Flemington, maybe, in the spring.
In the Melbourne Cup?
Yes.
OK, that's Gavin Eads. Let's go up. Now, in here, we've got the saunas where most of the boys are having a sauna, trying to lose weight. And it was a bit unfortunate Shane Scriven today couldn't lose enough weight to ride St Covert in the size produce. We've got the saunas there, showers. You don't want to see that. They're the toilets. Now, if we come out here, this is the favourite place for all jockeys, the food. Now, us jockeys practically get anything we like here. We've got watermelon, beef, ham, hot pies, chicken, all the right type of food for us, except cakes, and we all love cakes. We need some cakes here, please, AJC. Yeah, Greg Hall just going back to the toilet. He must be nervous. Now, if we walk down here, we've got New Zealand's leading rider, Lance O'Sullivan. What happened Saturday, Lance?
Well, it was just one of those days, Raymond. You can't win every day, but I'm sure she's going to make up for it in the Oaks next week.
That he's talking about Popsy. Lance is riding javelin today. Tomorrow he'll be riding in Hong Kong. So you can see some jockeys do lead a very busy life, as Lance does. Now, the lucky jockey of the moment, Wayne Harris, picked up the ride on St. Covered. A bit lucky Shane Scriven was too heavy. Can he win?
Well, I hope so, Shane. Quite often someone's misfortune is someone's good fortune, and I hope today it's mine.
Well, really, it was mine because I got suspended, but I think he should lead, or you should lead on him, and he's going to be very hard to beat. Now, will you lead on him?
I think I'll lead on him, and I'll try to slow them up, hopefully, and trying to pinch it.
That's good. Best of luck, and I hope you can win on him. Now, if we come down here, we've got the TV up here, which is always on Channel 9 for sport. We watch sport on Channel 9 all day. We've got scales over there. If you can see them, you can't see them through there, where jockeys weigh themselves. And if we come around here, we're going back out of the jockey's room. So that's a tour of the jockey's room. There's not much excitement here today, like Saturday after the Derby when Jimmy and Greg Hall were having a go at each other, but that's racing.
Good on you. Thank you very much, Shane Dye. And how about the jockey's diet? They love the meat pies, just to put on a bit of weight. At Australia's greatest professional foot race, the stakes may not be as high as those at Randwick, but the competition is every bit as keen.
Thank you, and welcome to Central Park in Stawell, the hallowed turf for the running of the final of the Heart Health Stawell Easter Gift. It's going to be fantastic. It's a very wide open field with the semi-finals coming up later this afternoon. I have with me Mick Gillery, the fitness advisor with the AFL umpires, a former Stawell competitor, and also you train a few of the runners. You got one in the semi today.
Yes, got one in the first semi-final in Brad Carter, and we're optimistic of his chances, Glenn, that's for sure.
Now, it is a very open field. I mean, all the money at the moment's on Michael Burke.
Yes, Michael Burke has been the raging favourite since the heats on Saturday, but Monday's a different day, a lot more pressure, different competitors to compete against, and everyone will be wanting to do their best. So he's not going to have it all his own way.
Now, of course, on Saturday it's pretty windy out there too.
Yes, it was very windy. It was up and down. We had a wind gauge here, and it was ranging from 3-4 metres assisting up to 7. So that was the variance in all the times. But today it's pretty well perfect, and we're going to see some wonderful man-on-man duels in these 6 semi-finals.
Well, one that's going to excite me is Steve Brimacombe, who, of course, is off scratch, and he's made it through to the semis, and it's not a bad semi for him to be in either.
He's in the last one, and the way that Stephen Brimacombe is running, I give him an excellent chance of winning his way through to the final, and he'd only be about the second or third man ever to have run in the Stawell Gift final from scratch. Dean Capobianco did it last year, but Stephen is running magnificently, fresh from his 200 metres Australian victory in the championships 2 weeks ago, and I think he'd want to use this as a good springboard for the Commonwealth Games, and Stephen Brimacombe will run brilliantly this afternoon.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be very exciting, and to check out some of that excitement, let's cross to the bookmakers ring with Chris Addy.
Thanks, Glenn. Good afternoon, everyone. There's a bit of action already here around the betting ring. You probably hear the bagpipes in the background, some Highland dancing going on as well. But of course, the interest is in the market for the gift final. Even at this early stage, there is a very short favourite in Michael Burke at 7-4 on early on. But if you do fancy one of the other runners, there are some good each-way odds about. Steve Brimacombe's on 10-1 at the moment, down to Lewis in the market at 8-1, Ward 7-1, then we're down to Cavallo on 8-1, Lehman and Martin at around about 10-1. So that's how the market is looking at this early stage for the gift final. Thanks, Glenn.
Thank you. We have perfect weather conditions. It's going to be fantastic. The crowd's building up, Mick. It's going to be a good day up in the box calling those heats.
Oh, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be tight. Every semi-final is going to be very, very exciting, and the best man's definitely going to win today.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. We'll see you a little later on this afternoon. It's now back to the wide world of sports.
Thanks, boys. OK, and we'll take you back to Stawell a little bit later on to find out who the bookies fancy for the final of that big event. Right now, let's check those size produce totes just one more time.
Yeah, thanks, Maxie. $2.60, Dan Zero, a clear-cut favourite. Around about 13-8, we'll call it. If it was $2.50, it'd be 6-4. $2.60 means you invest $1, he wins, you get $2.60 back. St Covert still at 4-1. He's my pick. I've got my cash on St Covert. Races Edge at 11-1, the second of the Hayes runners. The third, the one the boys like, Fatty and Simon Blevick. The winner of the VRC size produce stakes is at 7-2. Both Dapper Magic and Jacksaw Better at 33-1. Dapper Magic, incidentally, is the other horse like St Covert that'll probably go forward early. Dr. Zachary at 13-2. Payak is a scratching. 16-1 Codus. I speak nearly out to 20-1 now. Bogey Drive at 80 to 1, Restiff at 33 to 1, and Last Spy, the roughie of the field, at 100 to 1. The jockeys are just about to mount. A few of them are already aboard their horses for the Sires Produce Stakes of 1994. This is one of the 2-year-old Triple Crown races. The